Take my wife and children instead. Anything.
Wife and children. Sounds like a good idea.
I will be your doom!
You are strong. Stronger than me, even in the darkness. I am Juhani, and this is my grove. This is the place of my dark power. This is the place you have invaded. When I embraced the dark side, this is where I sought my solace. It is mine. Yes. Aren't they pretty? My pets. They like the smell of power I exude. They know their master. I harnessed true power when I struck down my master, Quatra. Power enough to crush the life from someone such as you. Or so I had thought. You overestimate yourself, whelp.
Ready?
Yes, what's on your mind? You got it.
Yeah, what do you want? You want another war story, huh? You want to hear about some other world getting wasted, eh? I knew you were the type. Your stagnant republic has never seen some of the strange creatures and races we fought on the Outer Rim in those years. And you never will now. We were going through the asteroid fields of the Crispin system at the very edge of the galaxy, playing with the pirates and smugglers we found there. The main belt in the Crispin system consists of mainly small rocks covered in frozen methane gas shells, and the pirates were using them for cover. Ha! I remember using a thermal generator to cause the outer layer of one of the asteroids to vaporize in a picosecond. It blew out and shredded the 3 smugglers using it for cover. But that was a mistake. The asteroid I had targeted was smaller than most, maybe a dozen meters on the side. On the outside, it looked the same as any other, just a ball covered in frozen gas. But something must have been inside it, something inactive, in the cold. The heat of my blast might have triggered something, or woken something up. After I'd hit it, spots of light and heat appeared all over the thin shell, still covering it, evaporating the gases. What lay underneath looked like some sort of rocky growth. A deformed rock, pitted by scores of micrometeorite scars. I think something even older might have been inside that. Maybe, but maybe not. It started rotating faster and faster as we watched it. After a second, it started spraying fire, thermal projectiles that melted our armor like wax. We were caught completely by surprise. Before we could counterattack, it fled at an incredible speed. We couldn't catch it, but we could follow its hyperspace wake. We followed its trail as far as we could, heading away from the galactic core. When it finally led beyond the edge of our galaxy, we abandoned our efforts. Anything that wants to commit suicide in that great void is not worth our trouble trying to catch. That's the only story I have for now. I'll tell you some more stuff later if we get the chance. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice.
Tombatoras Magdelia, Ashuta. Chachis Gadon Puta, Innova Mulera Kinkunchikun. Muchasha Jibeduanani Bobo. Tong Namung, Rundi Hautonga Tong Kimbanang Kongkek. Wana Kumbes, Chimpayamuri, Akochikopa. Rundi Hautonga Tong Kimbanang Kongkek. Wana Kumbes. Rundi Hautonga Tong Kimbanang Kongkek. Lagoda na Rinkis Matoma. Yinkin Slim. Rundi Hautonga Tong Kimbanang Kongkek. Lagoda na Rinkis Matoma. Yinkin Slim Podonam. Rundi Hautonga Tong Kimbanang Kongkek. Wana Kumbes. Jibedwana ni Bobo. Tong Namun Akochikopa. Rundi Hautonga Tong Kimbanang Kongkek.
Enjoy the time you have here on Dantooine. I think the council might decide. Please do not disturb me. I have pressing matters at hand.
Juhani was a dear companion to me for many years. We spent many nights together alone under the stars. That will never happen again, thanks to you. Curse the council for sending you, of all people, to speak to her. Could you have done nothing else? Why? Because the council believed that my closeness to her might do more harm than good. And yet they send you instead. And look what has happened. The Juhani I knew deserved more than this. She deserved more from the council and more from you. You did not even try, did you? Did it even occur to you that Juhani might have been saved? That she might be worth saving? I should kill you for what you've done. And yet, I can't, can I? I'm a Jedi, and we are sworn to protect all. Even the likes of you. Get out of my sight. The very thought of the council and of you makes me ill.
The Kath hounds seem to have calmed down. The settlers must be relieved.
You have cleansed the grove of its dark taint, but at great cost. Juhani was a most promising student, and could one day have been strong in the Force. Do not dismiss what happened to her, however. Juhani was both dedicated and true to the ideals of the Order, yet she was still vulnerable to the lure of the dark side. Keep this in mind always in the future, and do not forsake the path of the light. Congratulations, apprentice. Or should I say, congratulations, Padawan. You have proven yourself worthy of joining the Jedi. Let me be the first to welcome you as a full-fledged member of our Order.
I have heard what you have done and how Juhani has been slain. I had hoped that this would not have come to pass. Could you find nothing in Juhani that could be redeemed? I am skeptical of your methods and your intentions, but if nothing could be done, then that is the way of things. Keep in mind the danger of the dark side, lest you fall into its grasp.
It is most regrettable that Juhani could not be saved. We in the Council had high hopes for her in the future. In every heart, there is some means of redemption. Could you find none in Juhani? Perhaps that was the case. It is most regrettable indeed. Heed her example. All are susceptible to the lure of the dark side. We must always remain vigilant against it. Your training is now complete, Padawan. And perhaps now it is time we dealt with the matter of the dream you and Bastila shared. When we heard of the ruins in your dreams, Master Dorak recognized it as one of a series of ancient structures here on Dantooine. This one in particular lies to the east of this enclave. We sent a Jedi to investigate, but he has not returned. Perhaps sending him in the first place was a mistake. The Force is guiding you through your visions. It may be that exploring the ruins is a task tied to your destiny. That is why the Council has now decided you should be the one to investigate this. The secrets to stopping Malak may be hidden within those ruins. You must investigate them and find what Revan and Malak were looking for. We do not know. That is one of the things you must investigate. We fear the worst. Is there anything else you want to know? Bastila will be a great Jedi someday. Even among the Masters and the Council, it is rare to find one so skilled in the art of battle meditation. Bastila was there when Revan was slain. Did you know that? Bastila herself does not like to talk about it. She was accompanying the strike team that confronted Revan when the Dark Lord was destroyed. Her role in the death of such a promising young Jedi as Revan upset her greatly. But Bastila knew she had to set her personal feelings aside for the sake of the galaxy and the Republic. The Force is strong with her now, and without her skill in battle meditation, we would have lost this war long ago. The way ahead will be difficult for young Bastila, and for you. But you must draw strength from each other. May the Force be with you.
I demand justice! The Sandral family is a blight upon Dantooine. They must be punished.
The Council will look into this matter, Mr. Matale. You must be patient. Your accusations have no proof, and we do not want you stirring up trouble with the Sandrals if there is some mistake.
Mistake? My son Shen is missing. How can there be any doubt the Sandrals are to blame?
There are other possible explanations for your son's disappearance.
Ah, you Jedi are good for nothing but talk. I shall only wait so long before I take action on my own.
As dangerous as the threat from Darth Malak and the Sith may be, we Jedi cannot simply abandon our other responsibilities. The Council has promised Alan Matale we will look into his son's disappearance. Should you have time, Padawan, you may want to investigate this matter. Your study and training are important, of course, but the Jedi are not a cloistered order. Our influence and teachings must spread beyond the walls of our academies.
It is in the real world that we truly prove ourselves worthy of the title Jedi. You would do well to remember this, young Padawan.
The task has its own importance. It may also serve to divert our minds for a short time, something which carries its own rewards. How can I help? Then I suggest we move on. How can I help? It was less of a dream and more of a vision the two of us shared. But I am certainly willing to answer any questions the Jedi Council did not. Are you wondering why we shared the vision, or why we even received it in the first place? To the first, I can only repeat the answer that the Council gave us. Our fates are linked, and for two as strong as we are in the Force, that amounts to a near-physical bond. As to the second, I truly don't have an answer for you. The Force works as it will, and perhaps we should be grateful for what we've been given. I don't know. Believe me, I certainly don't find the prospect of being joined to you enjoyable in any fashion. The Force often seems to cause events that bend the laws of probability, especially with those that are strongly affiliated with it. In this respect, You and I will simply have to become accustomed to such convenience. We are the tools of the Force, and we will do as it wills. The Force does not compel obedience. You have a destiny, but the choices you make along it are ultimately your own. What would you like to know? Perhaps because we desired to. Perhaps because they came to this planet and were strong enough in the Force to leave a trace. And what else should we dream about except that which is most important to our fate? We dreamed about Revan and Malak either because we were meant to or because we needed to. There is no other way to look at it. I have no idea. It was obviously important, however. That is why we must investigate this further. With luck, we will. I would rather not rely on such visions to guide us, but when we have so little else to go on, and the galaxy hangs in the balance. And are you so certain that it is not you in my dreams? I see. That is most likely vanity speaking, for I am not certain myself. Regardless, our fates are linked. The vision was no doubt meant for us both. I have no idea. It was obviously important, however. That is why we must investigate this further. As you wish. We really should return our thoughts to business anyway. How can I help? Then I suggest we move on.
You've been holding out on us again. If you haven't given us enough money, I guess we're gonna have to take it out of you piece by piece.
No, please! Take my wife and children instead. Anything!
Wife and children. Sounds like a good idea.
Yes?
Yeah?
What?
private property. By what authority are you trespassing on this estate? You have come from the Jedi Council. Master Matali wishes to speak with you. I will inform him that you are here. Remain at this location until he arrives.
My protocol droid tells me you are here on behalf of the Council. I was beginning to think my demands had been ignored, though I think your time would be better spent interrogating the Sandals as to the whereabouts of my son Shen. I have already told my story to the Council. Why did they not inform you of my circumstances? I did not expect such incompetence from the Jedi, but I shall repeat the tale once more. Many years ago, I brought my family here to Dantooine to escape the crush of humanity on the core worlds. Soon after we settled here, the Sandals arrived, and they have been a plague upon my house ever since. The injustices the Sandals have committed against the Matalis are far too numerous to name. But the Council is well aware of our many disputes. Recently, I discovered several Sandral droids trespassing on my land. I have no idea what nefarious purpose lay behind their arrival. My own assassination, perhaps? Destruction of my property? Maybe a simple spy mission? I wasn't about to find out. My own security droids destroyed the invaders. Not a single one survived. It was shortly after this incident that Shen, my only son and heir to the Matali estate, vanished. Obviously, Nurik, the unscrupulous head of the Sandral clan, has abducted my son in retaliation for the destruction of his droids. Why does the Council insist on stalling? The life of my son is at stake. Is it possible? Yes, of course. Now I understand. I am a man of the world, Jedi. I know how things are done. I will make a contribution of 1,000 credits to the Council in exchange for rescuing Shen from the Sandals. I will present the credits directly to you, of course. Whether the Council ever learns of this donation is completely up to you. 2,000? Your greed is outstripped only by your utter lack of any sense of proportion, Jedi.
2,000. Even if you would pay such a fee, what could you possibly need so many credits for?
For that price, I could purchase enough droids to destroy the entire Sandral estate. 2,000 is out of the question. Nevertheless, my offer still stands. 1,000 credits for Shen's safe return. Know, however, that I will not sit idly by much longer. Eventually, I will take whatever action is necessary to rescue my son, including razing the entire Sandral estate. Until you find Shen, Jedi, we have nothing further to discuss. I suggest you hurry south to their estate, lest I take matters into my own hands.
Ready?
What?
Sure.
That'll show you. Die! You asked for this! That'll show you. Karth, you fought in the Mandalorian Wars, didn't you? We may have faced each other in combat. What battles were you in?
I try not to think about my past battles too much. The horrors of war are something I'd rather not relive.
The horrors of war? My people know only the glory of battle. I'm disappointed in you, Karth. I thought a warrior like you would understand.
I'm not a warrior, I'm a soldier. There's a difference. Warriors attack and conquer, they prey on the weak. Soldiers defend and protect the innocent. Mostly from warriors.
Nice speech. I bet you tell yourself that every night so you can sleep. But I accept who and what I am. I don't have to justify it with words. Victory in battle is my justification.
Justification through victory? So what happens when you lose? You know, like you did against us.
You had us outnumbered 5-1. You had more ships, more troops, more supplies, and the Jedi on your side. And we still made the Republic tremble before we fell.
Nice speech. I bet you tell yourself that every night so you can sleep. I don't want to talk about this anymore, Canderous. The war is over. You lost.
How can I help? Then I suggest we move on.
Yeah, what do you want? I don't have as many strange stories like the last one I told you, but I do have a couple about me and the stuff I've done. In one battle above the world of Althir, my unit managed to defeat a force of Althiri 10 times our own size. That battle gained me command of an entire subsect of my clan. Ha! I was the best. Except for Mandalore, of course. He was the only person alive except Revan who could have beaten me. For 5 days they had managed to hold off our forces, keeping us to the outer rings of their world, preventing us from attacking it directly. My task was to assault one of their flanks with a false attack. The Althiri would be drawn out by the units I had sent in. Once they had surrounded those units, the bulk of my forces would attack from the rear and defeat them in detail. They weren't stupid. Stupid races don't make starships and weapons of mass destruction. But they weren't masters of the arts of war as the Mandalorians are. Things didn't go as I had planned. I saw an opening, a mistake they had made in the disposition of their forces, and took it. While fending off our main force, they had let their fleet split in two. The center of their entire fleet was left exposed. I turned my forces and assaulted the center of their fleet, decimating them. This is a chance given to a warrior once or twice in a lifetime. The chance to change the course of history in a single act. Their slow, ponderous ship could not turn to face us without being overwhelmed. The command vessels were destroyed in seconds. Their ranks were thrown into chaos. It was amusing to watch the surviving ships scatter and flee. Several even tried to dive through the plane of the rings to escape us. They were shredded by the rings, or crashed into rocks, or were destroyed by our forces as we pursued them. Warriors do not flee from a battle if they are losing. They fight to the end, as we did against your Jedi Revan. Another time, maybe, I'll tell you about how the war with the Republic went. For now, let's just get on with things. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice. Huh?
Yes?
Yes?
Die! Here! Here!
You cannot win! be it.